everyone, Pandora with Integrative Gardening here, and I wanted to share with you some of the ways I have of dealing with fungus gnats. Now, fungus gnats are those little bugs that fly around your house plants or your vegetables, and they're little tiny. They dig into the soil and they will affect the roots of your plants. They can be, eating the roots, and the plants won't be quite as healthy. Plus, it's kind of just annoying to have gnats flying around in the house. So I thought I would show you a couple of things that I do. So one thing would be to, when you're watering your plants, when the soil is dry on top, you can just fill up a tray like this. And you're going to want to fill it up to where the holes of the pots are, and that way the water will start to rise up to water your plants, and the little plants will start reaching their roots down. And that fungus gnats like moist soil. So the reason to do this is to try to keep your soil on top dry so that they can't dig their way down there. So that is one method that I use. That's bottom watering. And I also do it on this type of tray here. So this is a flat, and I have some lettuce starts. These will grow big heads of lettuce, and they're on my indoor garden. So what I like for this type of tray is that I can just pour the water down here. I just need to do a thin layer across, and that also waters from the bottom up. And lettuce tend to have kind of these thin, short roots, and they will reach anywhere for that water. I used to have lettuce in bigger containers like this, but it just took up too much space this way. And, then plus the size of the lettuce head, it was just too much. So I went back to doing the lettuce this way. And that way I can keep it on the top kitchen shelf up here and have the lights down low, and that makes it so that these lights are not intrusive. When they're up higher, it's not nice to have bright lights. So this is another way to bottom water. Now I do have some larger containers. So these do have large holes in the bottom, and I have stuck them in the smaller, shorter trays to bottom water. But what I found is the fungus gnats will go in here, down where the roots are. And so that's not particularly helpful. So a newer method for this that I've just started trying is to sort of dig myself a hole where I can put the water in down near the roots. And then I just do that in a couple spots around, and I don't put so much that it comes all the way down. So that's something that I am just trying, and I will let you know how that method works as we go along. But it is allowing me to keep this stuff up on the top, nice and dry. Okay, so these were my vegetable plants. And then for the house plants, there's various things you can do. This one, I have some string of hearts cuttings that I started in water and then planted them up here. And so this is one thing I do with smaller plants or with succulents. I will put the rocks in there. And that kind of impedes the progress of the fungus gnats getting down into your plants. And it also looks kind of pretty. It's harder to tell, you know, because I like to stick my finger in sometimes to see if the soil is wet. But you can get your rhythm going and figure out how much water that's going to need. Okay, another house plant. So this is a Staghorn Fern. Now, some of these ferns like this, they don't really need much soil to begin with, so I just try to put as much bark on the top, and I put a little soil farther down in. But these are epiphytes. They do, you know, grow up in the branches of the trees where they connect to the trunk usually. And so, you know, whatever matter collects in there, and it will help, you know, the shape of the leaves and, you know, the tree and whatever stuff gets caught in where that plant is. It helps funnel the water down by the roots. So that's one thing you can do, is check to see which houseplants don't need much soil, or which ones can you put this type of bark on the top like that. Okay, one more for you. This is coconut core. It's like what you line baskets, like decorative hanging wire baskets that are outdoors. They usually have hanging flowers or other types of plants, maybe sedums. So I will stick some of that on tops to make it kind of hard for the fungus gnats to get in there. And then you can still check, you know, to see how dry your soil is under there. And at one point, I had put some of the coconut core pieces, pushed it down in there, you know, and broke it off so that the fungus gnats couldn't get in there. This got a little bit soggy towards the bottom. So I'm not doing that right now. I may go back to it if this other way doesn't work quite as well. So there you have it. These are pretty much most of my methods that I use to deal with fungus gnats if you get them growing indoors. Thank you so much for watching, and be sure to like this video if you enjoyed seeing it.